No matter how bad or fucked up things get, family truly is everything. What Josiah Saw is a Shudder exclusive from director Vincent Grashaw, who did Coldwater and Then I Go, written by Robert Allen Dilts, and this tells the story of the Graham family, who reunite after 23 years where a terrible tragedy occurred on the farmland where they grew up, and they have to come together right now to come to grips with this tragedy and sell off their land to this oil company. They basically want to give them a hefty sum, and then they can go off and do great things. Some can start a new life. Others can, basically just live their dream of being a parent, while maybe others don't necessarily want to sell the farmland. So yes, this tells the tale of three particular siblings, and it does it in chapters. Basically, we get chapter 1 telling the story of Tommy and his Tommy, can you hear me? Can you feel me near you? Tommy, or Thomas, and his dad, Paul, played by Robert Patrick, and Tommy is played by Scott Hayes. And they're together on this farmland, and a brother is referenced, Eli, played by Nick Stahl. Yes, we get the T-1000 and we get Nick Stahl in the same goddamn movie. Terminator timeline, it's a goddamn flat circle, but nevertheless, Eli's story tells of how he's trying to recover from, being a criminal and trying to come to grips with basically having to dig himself out of a hole that he got himself in. And then there's Mary, who just basically wants to live her life with her husband and doesn't really want to go back into her past. There's more stuff to this that will come up in the spoiler section, basically, but that's pretty much the bare bones of the story. It's told in 3 chapters, and if there's anything that I can say that this movie reminds me of, it's Frailty. If Frailty was basically stretched to its motherfucking limits, like taffy being pulled very, 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 very slowly, and I'm not even encompassing just how slow this movie moved. And I don't mind slow burn movies. This really is more of a psychological horror than a straight up horror thriller. And it does have some horrifying themes and some reveals, but here's the thing. It takes so long to get to that stuff that while, yes, you can have a slow burn movie, you can have some good character development, you can have some atmospheric shots. It's well shot. It is very well shot, I will say that much. But it also ramps up the goddamn tension music to the point that about 40% of this fucking movie is goddamn tension music. The other 40% is long, long shots that had no fucking business being that goddamn long. And then by the time we get to anything that's all shocking, if you have even 2 brain cells that have collided with each other once in your goddamn life, you can see every turn coming a mile away. Now, revelations that you can see coming from a mile away aren't the worst thing. I mean, Frailty wasn't the most wholly original story, but it had some good energy to it and a good pace to it. It was also an hour and 40 minutes. This is 2 hours. This movie barely had enough fucking material for a goddamn hour, so they had to stretch shit out. Let's show people driving. Let's show people driving and looking around their house and everything and stumbling and doing some stuff and repeating the same goddamn actions because this movie didn't have enough fucking material. I know I have said this multiple times about movies and like some horror movies, a lot of horror movies. Cut this goddamn thing down to like 40 minutes and you could have actually told something in a good anthology. Or maybe better yet, do 80 minutes, cut out a lot of the driving stuff, and then you might have actually had something tight and well done. Even if the ending was like, oh, okay, yeah, I fucking saw that goddamn coming. In case it has not been made abundantly clear, I did not like this movie, and I wanted to like it. Robert Patrick has been very good in stuff. Nick Stahl, I haven't really seen him in a whole lot. Scott Hayes, I've seen him in a few things. Kelly Garner, who plays Mary, she's been good in stuff. There's a good cast here. There are elements where it's like, okay, this movie could work. This could actually be good. Oh, no, we're just going to do this. And oh, wow, that's your reveal? Everybody fucking saw that coming. Don't act like it's all shocking. Like, oh my God. Let's make the dumbest decisions possible in the last number of minutes because we really don't have anything else to do except write our characters and our good cast members as fucking goddamn idiots. And yeah, it has some loose ends that it tries to tie up and everything, and I guess you could say that the story wraps itself up nicely. It's also about that thin. It's literally about as thin as this fucking paper. And maybe not even that much. It's more like rice paper. There's a good idea here, and there's some good camera work, some decent acting, But a lot of the times, it just leaves people up to, okay, just draw the scene out. Draw the scene out. I don't care how you draw the scene out. It sets it up okay, and then it just drags and drags and fucking goddamn drags. This went from being a movie that I was just finding sort of glacially boring to being one of the worst movies that I've seen this year. And that's sad because I wanted to enjoy it, and there were a few things that I liked, but it just ended up being, quite frankly, a stretched out pile of shit. And I know there are some people that are probably not going to like that. And if you guys liked it, that's great. It's just, I've seen this shit before. And unfortunately, this movie didn't take the idea of Frailty and improve on it. It just made it 20 minutes longer and made it worse. And while, again, Frailty was not necessarily the best goddamn movie ever. And Hollywood isn't out of original ideas. They just like to reshape shit that's been done before. You can do that well, and this movie did not do that well. So now I am going to get into spoilers. It also wastes Robert Patrick like mad. But anyway, spoilers are coming 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so these chapter breaks. Basically, it turns out that Tommy lives with his dad on the farmhouse, and it's kind of in not good shape. There's also this deal made by this Devlin Oil, not Jordan Devlin. No, we're not going with J.D. McDonough. If you're a non-wrestling fan, you have no fucking idea who I'm talking about. Picture an Easter Island statue from Munchkinland. That's basically J.D. McDonough. So anyway, the Graham property is like a prime piece of real estate, but it's haunted. And that is because the mother's dead. The mother killed herself, and then during one night, after Josiah, a.k.a. Pa, a.k.a. Robert Patrick, says, oh my God, I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. I'm not going to drink anymore. We're going to do right by God, and we're going to do this. And we're going to fix the place up, and then we're going to be able to save your mother from hellfire. Also, it turns out that Tommy likes this one woman and also seems to have a little bit of affection for a kid. No, it's not like that. Don't worry. It's not like that at all. But there are references to the brother Eli. There's also this chest during this renovation that obviously has body parts in it. If you can't fucking figure that out, I really can't fucking help you. The more I think about it, the more this movie has pissed me off because everything is just set up on a batting tee where it's like, look at it. Here's an arrow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Plot point, plot point, plot point. And then Robert Patrick's character makes his son masturbate in front of him while holding open a dirty magazine. Oh, okay. So yeah, it really is a lot like Frailty. And then we then cut to Nick Stahl banging some woman in his trailer, and she gives him drugs. And it's chapter 2, Eli and the Gypsies. Basically, he banged a girl that was 16 in a bar, or outside of a bar, maybe in a bar, I don't really know. Also, there's a 9-year-old girl missing. Maybe they think he has something to do with it because he banged an underage girl. But no, this ties back into something about the Gypsies. His boss, Boone, played by, let me see, is it Jake Weber? It is Jake Weber. I had to look at my notes here. Remember the guy that got bit at the end of Dawn of the Dead? Him. Yeah, that guy. He was also in a couple other movies that I can't really recall right now. But he's a pretty good actor. Totally fucking wasted here. So yeah, the idea is Boone is owed a lot of money by Eli. And he says, you go with these two guys, distract these gypsies while we look for their gold. They have gold stuff here. And gypsies don't ever curse anything, so they'll be totally fine. And then, whatever. Well, he ends up being attracted to this one girl, Gypsy Gina. And she takes him to a medium. Her grandma, I assume, this part oak tree. And then she tells a story, and you've come for, it's like, oh, your mother burns because of you. You've come for our gold. What the fuck? And then everybody dies. Oh, wait. Not everybody dies. Because gypsies are moving. They killed the 2 henchmen guys. And it seems like Eli's going to die. But Eli then hands drugs to the guy. One of the guys is his captor. The drugs that he got from that chick that he banged earlier. And then he does so much coke that he passes out. I guess the coke was laced with shit. Whatever. And then it turns out there's this girl here. Oh, that's the 9-year-old girl that got stolen by gypsies, I guess. And then, see, this is all my interpretation of it because a lot of this is left open to the imagination, which is more imagination than this fucking movie had. And then he steals the chest that has gold in it. And then he finds Boone, he's got the girl with him, and then Boone looks at the gold, and then Boone passes out and dies. Because it's gypsy gold and it's fucking cursed, you fucking idiot. Okay. And he takes the girl to the sheriff. The guy says, hey, you need to run far away here. Okay. And then we cut to a girl developing photos, working out to dubstep music, and there are 3 kids with bags over their faces. Now, that's obviously indication of the 3 kids that are hiding in shame and hiding a secret on the Graham farm. Are you getting this at all? And I wonder who the other girl is. It's Mary May. It's Mary. It's Kelly Garner. That's who that is. She wants to have a kid. She got fixed, sterilized, because of something that happened in her past. I wonder what it is. And then basically she ends up with her husband that they're kind of at odds with. They have an odd dinner date. The husband says, I don't want to say anything bad to you because I'm afraid you're going to kill yourself. And we don't know for a bit that Mary's actually related to the Grant. Actually, we do. It's pretty obvious. It's practically hammered into our fucking head. And then here's Eli. Hey, if we sign this letter, we get a hefty sum of money, and I can start a new life, and you can start a new life, and we can talk to the brother. So she wants to go and see it through. To go back to the farmland that Tommy and Pa are at. This went forever. There were like driving scenes where I was like, good God, I could have driven to work and back and gotten back before these scenes were over, and that would have taken at least 30 minutes if I was lucky. So they're back here to reunite and everything because their mother hung herself from a tree, and they're trying to get this whole thing figured out. And then Tommy, it turns out, has been talking to Pa. Pa's been dead for years. Why has Pa been dead for years? Oh, it is Frailty. It is fucking Frailty. God damn it. Revoke this person's license. Whose? I don't know. Okay. Mary's husband calls during all this and says, they approved this process. You're going to be a mother. Yeah, about that. Tommy's been talking to the dad this whole time because it turns out that Josiah was a very, very creepy guy. He beat up his boys and raped his daughter. Yeah, I feel bad even saying that word. Good old incest. That's why the mother ended her life. And, yeah. And then Tommy goes nuts and axes Eli, Nick Stahl, and then stabs Mary. And then we cut back to a little scene earlier where, by the way, Eli and Mary are brother and sister. And they fuck in an apartment. And Tommy's like, oh, you sinned. I have to kill you. I'm not saying this bullshit doesn't happen. It shouldn't. You shouldn't fuck close siblings. You shouldn't fuck anybody that you're related to by blood. What the fuck is wrong with you? The thing about this movie is it has no right to exist because it has no original ideas. Like I said, it has some good atmospheric shots. It has some decent work. The acting's fine, but it is just a stretched out motherfucking thing that is just so fucking ridiculous. And one of the worst movies I've seen this year. And I gave it chances. I gave it at least an hour before it was really starting to test my patience. I'm like, okay, let me give it half. I even gave it a little bit more. And I'm like, nope, this is... My initial feelings were correct, and this turned out to be terrible. But maybe you disagree, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle. It's an F, by the way. F, in case I didn't get the fucking F. The fucking goddamn F. God! Anyway, I'm John Ritlin, and I'll see you soon.